Everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Dr. T, PhD, the prodigy of sports psychology. Here, welcoming me back, the founder of FitPeru, Mr. Freddy G. Now, before Freddy G returns back here on today's show, I'd like to ask everyone out there, if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. As you know, Freddy G is the movement specialist. He is, like I mentioned, the founder of FitPeru, and he's just returning from a great out-of-town trip, so I can't wait to hear how that went and see how everything's going in his world as we catch back up with him today on our show. So it's going to be a lot of fun, it's going to be exciting, and we always have a great time catching up with Freddy G, and it's going to be a lot of excitement right here on GoTarryn TV. So when we return, we'll have him back here, and remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, and as I promised, we have Freddy online. Freddy, how are you doing out there today?
Great and beautiful day, beautiful day.
It really is here in Atlanta, and you're right, it's been so pretty. And I wanted to ask you, Freddie, we didn't get to chat with you since you went on your trip. I've seen you, but I haven't gotten a chance to stop and say hello, so welcome back. How did your trip go since I saw you?
So every time when I go somewhere,
Yeah.
I come back with different things. It's a life thing.
Uh-huh.
Get out of your area, it's more.
That's great. Yeah, that's excellent. Now, what did you do on your trip, too? What all did you get into?
Honestly, get into nature,
Uh-huh.
hiking, uh, uh, it's other style eating.
So what do you have going on this week? What's going on?
Uh, I have a new classes in different places, and I have a new nude yoga coming up. I'm leading. I lead acro yoga fundamentals, and I do ecstatic dance at the park.
This is
As
Piedmont Park.
No, it's a Candler Park.
I know where that's at.
Yeah, yeah. I think Piedmont is too many people. It's overrated, but Candler Park is a little way, and it's very kind of intimate.
That's so cool. Now, can you talk about the new classes? Like, what do they look like in terms of what you've already been doing? And besides there, too, are you also teaching elsewhere besides Family Life Center in Candler Park?
Yes. So the new classes involves more mobility and more specific. Like I'm teaching now at the Stone Summit. It's a
Okay.
climb rock facility that
Uh-huh.
they really want to strengthen their core more. So it's more Pilates and yoga stretching, and some of them they are prepping before climbing. So it's more like a warm up, and then after is more flexibility and stretch. Yeah, that. And well, at the other classes is a nude yoga, which I was teaching for a while, but it's like more popular in the community. So I think it's important to approach your humanity in that way, being a nude and without any baggage, and just be you as you go.
How nude, Freddie? Like, are you nude and all the participants, or how, to what extent nude? Like fully, partially?
And that is if it's nude, have to be like completely. So I'm the one that leading. I'm nude. So and of course, it's some newbies. They are kind of facing that process to be naked. So I mean, there's another class like it's optional, but specifically this class is completely nude. More awareness about your present, just being in the moment and look into your eyes. And it's more like community uh, group gathering. So everybody's just completely naked.
Now, Freddie, do you find that is it just here where it's more kind of taboo or where people snicker and think, oh, I can't believe, nude yoga? Or is that generally speaking, do you find like other places, because you're very well traveled, other countries, do they seem more kind of open to that than here? Is that fair?
Yeah, some of them. So like Brazil is very open. I took some classes there, and I met a lot of people in the nude community. Um, but in other places like Peru or Argentina is pretty much open too. But it depends. It depends on like if you really curious about it and you really uh, kind of want to know more deeply, you will find a place, a gathering, a community that really will guide you without sexualizing. This is many other groups that they are more into that sensual kind of sexual thing. But don't get me wrong. I mean, all classes, if you're nude, you're gonna have your eyes really into the parts that you are really get aroused, but there's nothing wrong with that. So you just have to have your mindset, like what's your intention to come to the class, um, what is your goal? So for me, in my classes, is a both. So there's a group, there's a class specific for edging, which is more sexual, and working on your pelvic floor, on your kundalini and the breathing and the positioning. And the other one is more into the deep state of consciousness, like meditation and maybe partnering with somebody on the group. Everybody's looking through the eyes, and it's more the whole spiritual thing. So the nudity is just part of the being more free and the way that you are not carrying any baggage, any burden. So just honest. You nude, you're honest, you're true to yourself, and just sharing with everybody else.
Yeah, let me ask you, Freddie, is the class mixed with different gender? Or is it all male, or what's the ratio typically that you find?
Uh, the the classes are very um, it can be co-ed or it can be just males. So I usually do like for a community, for the gay, lesbian, whatever community. But then we start adding some co-ed, like there's no race, gender, and sexual orientation. No matter, doesn't matter. So you're just human, and you're just sharing your practice with everybody else.
Yeah, that's interesting. And you mentioned, Freddie, one of the classes, they do something you called edging, where it's a little bit more sexual. What is that? Can you explain what edging is?
Sure. So, in the process of teaching or guiding the class, in a that's a point like you really work on your pelvic floor, which is powerful. That's why you really generate this energy, and you produce. You kind of like um, focus on that breathing through your pelvic floor, and the anus and the vagina and the penis is connecting in the pelvic floor is very powerful when you just start breathing and then squeezing, So there's a control mechanism when you're just kind of like sitting or in a standing position. You just have to focus and visualize like your organs are contracting and the intention behind it, So you're gonna have that arousal in some point, like if you really get into that deep state of breathing and then contraction and the wanting, So I mostly encourage people to explore themselves and feel, So exploration, and then kind of like a feeling the way that, oh, this is good for me, for my mental health. Everything is connecting. It's not just that part. So edging is the arousal and an extend in a long period of time. So you can make them longer or shorter. It's up to you. But the idea is just keep that in control of your uh, ejaculation, maybe in the male part. So woman has a more multi-orgasmic time, but we can elongate that, control the ejaculation, so it's that breathing part coming through. So the edging is the part, like you just stop without exploding. You might explode, but you just have to just kind of be present and just observe and feel.
So I assume is edging strictly for males, or can women benefit from that as well too? They can do the edging as well.
Yeah. So you have to understand the biomechanics, like your body and your organs has a function. So in that part, in the sexual part, is very intricate, and it kind of you have to. It's individual practice, of course. So you should know when you explore enough your body to get into that state of high arousal. Like you can just hit that threshold and then come back and hit and back. You can play with that, but this is just your own control. So I just guide you through it, and I see like people, they can just getting really lost in their experience, which is great. So that's the point. So there's no shame. You have to put that aside, morals aside, and traditions aside. So it's just you, and learn and explore.
Yeah. Now, Freddie, for people who wanted to try that, they've never done yoga, like nude yoga, let's say, but they're kind of scared or timid or shy, or they feel like other people are going to be looking at them and judging them. Is that something of concern, or is that something that you feel like that they should not worry about necessarily?
Yeah, when they come to the space, if I'm leading that, so we are three, I can say four in Atlanta, males mostly. We kind of leading in different places, nude yoga for different genders or just a specific community. Um, you have to, as a guide, you know, you have to open the space and hold the space for them. When you hold the space for them, there's more um, trust, the trust and just being honest. So when you gain the trust, you're gonna be like in that place like you're supposed to be, without any shaming, as I said before. uh no traditional mindsets and morals. Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow, that's very, very interesting. And so you sound it's really you've got a busy schedule right now with everything going out. How about the Candler Park exercise workouts? What's that been looking like with what you're doing there?
It's always there outside. I just got one class, and I have my community. When weather permits, we going outside, of course. But mostly, I encourage people, shine or rain or whatever, let's go outside. So I just I have one class a week. Outdoors is more like a strength training, um, and then the rest of the classes is indoors.
That's great. And now that, this is kind of getting better, we're opening up more. Are you finding more people, Freddie, coming and participating and more is that activity increasing or how's that been for you?
Yes, I see that. It's it's like they got a pacifier. When they cry, they need the instant gratification or just being, kind of
Yeah,
indoctrinated by the
right.
pacifier. So that's happening in this whole human community. So they got already the pacifier and they stop crying and they already back into the uh, classes, So you know what I mean by it.
Yeah, that's interesting. And same with the Family Life Center. There are people coming back here, but I think there's still some people scared and paranoid because they think they might get COVID. I don't know.
Yes, trust me, it's already in their mind, and it's like the fear is always just being programmed already. Like they cannot take it off. They cannot take it off. Like they will die, whatever. But this is funny because when I start teaching, it's already 2 weeks and the Stone Summit, and it's a couple people, double mask inside. Of course, they it's a mandatory have the mask inside the facility. I don't know why until now, but they still have that. But I'm not wearing it. In my class, I told them already, if you're gonna do yoga or any kind of exercise, it's a crime to wear something on your face and keep breathing the same CO2. Uh, so that's not for me. So I let them know from the beginning that I'm not doing it. So, so I'm still there teaching. You know what I mean? So I encourage people. They have the freedom. They have the choice to take it out because I'm health advocate. You know what I mean? So you have to think, make sense. At this point, there's not make any sense to wear double mask, but people still doing it, even though they have the shot, right? So yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And I noticed there's still people that are concerned if others haven't had the vaccine. I've noticed that they're concerned if they don't wear their mask and things like that. So it's really interesting that people still think that way. And you really hit the nail on the head. That pacifier, that is what it kind of is, isn't it? Like a pacifier, that mask.
Well, I just give the example because that's happening. That's happening. But it's okay. Uh, and I just, I treat people like they are, So it's human. It's human to be compassionate and have some empathy. Yeah, it is what it is. Respect and respect.
That's great. Yeah, very, very well said, Freddie. And I always ask you this too. What about your workouts and your exercise routines? I know that you work out with your clients when you're usually working them, but beside all the classes you're doing, are you satisfied that you have enough time for yourself to do your own individual solo workouts by yourself?
Yes, always I have to have a time to make a time for myself. So, which is priority. So I have to be good, mentally, physically, uh, stable. So if I'm good, I can show everybody else that I'm in that level of, happiness, healthiness, abundance, you know. So I have to have a time for myself. Just not just for working out, but for learning is still taking other classes or just join some new communities and being more human and gather with everybody else. Just kind of blend and learn.
Excellent, good. Well, I'm so happy you're able to continue traveling, Freddie. Do you have any more trips coming up anytime in the near future or booked for the rest of the year?
All right now, just kind of, settle a little bit, just having my communities just around me and try to get expanding more my skills, showing more my skills at this point, like acrobatics, acro yoga, uh, nudity, dancing, so just with no attachments, with no corporation just putting more pressure on me. So I just kind of getting more lighter and lighter, more independent. So that's my focus now, just expanding a little bit more and showing my skills.
That's great. Yeah, that's excellent. Freddie, how are you enjoying living in Midtown too? Do you find the traffic's getting heavier now that Atlanta's opening back up, or do you still love it there, or how are you managing being in Midtown? I always find it so busy and congested there whenever I drive through.
Yeah. But it's so convenient. I just make it easy to. Uh, and I was when I came back from my trip from Peru, which Peru and South America is a little more behind. Third world mindset, a little messed up. People just it's too much going on and so much work to do in the mentality, uh, double masking and the face shield. I mean, that's too much for me. So I was in Lima just for 1 or 2 days, and then I just took off to the mountains, to in the middle to nowhere. I mean, with the nature. So I was spending morning there and then come back. And when I come back here, it was such a relief with some places are open. There's no Mass Monday anymore. So it's still some places, of course, but I think 60%, 70% is just pretty much open and just makes me happy that people are really thinking.
Yeah, no. You're right. No, that's great.
Family center, I was like, okay, great, awesome. Because I was doing the class outdoors. I told Cedric, hey, I'm still teaching outdoors because I'm not comfortable with this, but there you go. Happily, everybody is open.
Yeah, yeah. You're still doing the outdoor classes at Family Life Center too, right?
Yeah, when the weather is nice, of course. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent, Freddie. Well, what else besides work do you have going on that you're looking forward to, the rest of this year that's flying by? We're already halfway done with this year. Do you have any plans for the summer elsewise, personally, that you'd like to do or get accomplished?
Uh, Mostly, I'm kind of learning Portuguese online, and that's my personal, you know, goal. Maybe playing some instruments, musical. That's another goal that I already have on my mind. And then just kind of planning, kind of going to a retreat for myself, so retreat myself and learning in the process. Yeah, maybe it can be a yoga or fitness or just a community with a common sense, the same mindset, you know. That's kind of like my plan or my vision. Just make it happen this year. Totally.
That's great. Very good, Freddie. Well, again, I'm just impressed that throughout this whole time, you've been able to just get right through and just business as usual and just continue doing, all of your programs and classes. And you in my opinion, you never stopped or slowed down. It seemed like you've always been busy and been traveling and just doing everything you normally do. So I commend you for that. That's, very good.
Yeah, thank you. But as long as we have limbs, we have a healthy body, and healthy mind, we need to keep moving. So that's the reason we are here in this earth. Is we have to keep moving and sharing and just being human. So with others, and that's the point of in my age. Like I already know, like my body is not responding like it used to. So now kind of step back a little bit because I don't want to mess my joints, and I have problems like everybody else because aging, and then the overuse. Because when you're young, you just you don't have the guidance like you now people have it. So I just jamming and banging, and now you can just feel it because time goes by and then see, oh, I cannot do this anymore because I have sciatic problems. I have my knee, what's the purpose to lifting weights? What's the purpose? So now the meaning behind exercise is so important for me. It's almost like a meditation, and just be conscious why you moving for, what is this move serve you, so that's the intention when I moving myself mostly. And I'm really at this point I don't really care about certifications when I go for a retreat or any convention. I just want to go through the process of learning. So, and I did that when after my trip, I was thinking about what is the point to have these different diplomas and medals and shit that is not really, um, uh, it's not, it's not me. It's not me. So having that recognition, validation is just, it's over. It's over when you have the experience and you already know your truth, and you believe in yourself, so you have the power. So just do whatever you can, and just enjoy the process of learning.
Very well said, Freddie. And like you said, moving is so important. You're the movement specialist, and there's no one else like you. So keep it up. And Freddie, on that note, if we could please, let's go ahead and plug your contact information now before we get out of here. And again, you're the best. So let's tell everyone how they can reach you and try out Nude Yoga.
Awesome. Thank you for here. I think everybody is good in our community, like we're still talking, and keep it up with the work, with your passion.
Absolutely. And they can always find you on fitperu.net. And I guess that's the best way to contact you.
Yes, that's it.
Great. Well, we'll always have your website link as we fade to black come up on the screen here momentarily. But Freddie, thank you so much again for your time. We really appreciate it. And 30 minutes always flies by so quickly with you. So really appreciate your time today.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'll see you around, okay?
My pleasure, Freddie. We'll see you. Take care.
Ciao. Bye.